Fellow Biafrans, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are listening to me this very moment, I want to inform you that it is no longer a business as usual because man have to face man, man have to talk to man, and man have to scan into the face of his fellow man and tell him how he feels. As you are listening to me this very moment, Barrister Kenneth Okonkwo is not taking it lightly with the enemies of Nnamdi Kanu and the enemies of Biafrans. Kenneth Okonkwo has gone ahead to stress that the life imprisonment of Nnamdi Kanu is unjust and does not worth it. So for this reason, Tinubu and his cohorts must know what they do immediately for the release of Nnamdi Kanu before Nigeria goes ablaze. Describing it that is a high injustice, evil committed in a highly place by our Motoshaw and Minister of Justice and Tinubu colluding to imprison Nnamdi Kanu for life. That is not done anywhere, and it has never done before in Nigeria. Just because a man preached with microphone and radio becomes convicted and sentenced to death, that it has never happened anywhere and it is not constitutional, and stressing his grievances concerning the unexisting law that was used to sentence Nnamdi Kanu, described it as animalistic attitude and injustice without conscience. Omotosho has gone beyond he should, and for this reason must be confronted by every means possible, because like he himself is a lawyer. He read the law, he knows what law is all about and what the law says and what the law did not permit to happen. So that further holding Nnamdi Kanu in the Sokoto prison is committing a crime against not only Nnamdi Kanu but against the entire Igbo race. So that he, as a person, cannot keep watching or fold his hands, watching Nnamdi Kanu all these years, passing through all these twists and turns, and some people pretentiously believed from south to east that Nnamdi Kanu committed an offense, and that was why he's going through all the pains and the torture he has been going through by the hands of Nigerian government. That it is not true. Those who accuse Nnamdi Kanu of terrorism and banditry and criminality should watch out and see those who are bandits and those who are criminals and those who are terrorists. And those terrorists have not been arrested for once, prosecuted for once, to jail for once, facing firing squad for once, or facing hanging, death by hanging for any reason. And Nigeria government stupidly decided not to incriminate terrorism as a treasonable felony or a criminal act that deserve death. That if anyone should be caught as a terrorist, should be killed. And all this while they preserve their Nigerian people who are busy killing innocent Biafrans and Igbos in Igbo land. And it's like everybody is mute. Everybody has been mute over it. That for this reason, the whole world must hear his voice and hear everything that has happened, that is giving Nigeria government few hours to release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, or he is going to do something that Nigeria government and those enemies of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu will be very surprised at what he has done. And I want to say to this very aspect that Kenneth Okonkwo has done a lot anyway for him to have come out to speak to the public and let the whole world know that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is not a terrorist. There is nothing he will do that is more than this he has done by exposing Nigeria government and their terrorist organization. So now you can see that what Barrister Kenneth Okonkwo is saying is very, very important. And you can see about 23 terrorist funders, terrorist sponsors by Sahara Reporter. You can see their names. They are in Nigeria, using billions upon billions and trillions to fund terrorism. I'm telling you that Tinubu will not talk about it. Tinubu will not do anything about it because Tinubu himself is a terrorist. And this is exactly what Kenneth Okonkwo is letting the whole world and Nigeria to understand, that further keeping Mazen Nnamdi Kanu in Sokoto prison is going to spell doom to Nigeria, and that will be the end of Nigeria, and that will be the beginning of disintegration of Nigeria without looking back. So the way I am understanding his speeches, he speaks with anger, aggressively. He's not happy. And when you look at the whole thing, you see that it will make you to scratch your head. It will make your ear to tingle on how an innocent person was convicted without law and sentenced to death, immediately sent to where his people can never set eyes on him. So this describes to you how deep the hatred from North and Yoruba people are on Igbo man. So when you are dealing with Yorubas and Fulanis, you will see that their hatred is over 1,000% on Igbos. So my dear listeners, you may feel like it's just a mere talk, but I want to tell you that all what Okonkwo is saying is making sense, because you may be the next victim of Nigeria government. And the way they treated Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and nobody say a word, your own will be worse than Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's own. Because even Malami and Tinubu and Buhari, Buratai, and the rest of them have regretted that only if they had known, they would have killed Mazen Nnamdi Kanu in Kenya. So to say that anything that has to do with Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is no longer existing. But because man is not God, the thought of their heart and their plans was nullified, or were nullified. So what I'm telling you this very moment is that if you are claiming to be one Nigeria, it is very, very disastrous. It's for fatal ways, catastrophe. And I'm telling you the truth, like Kenneth Okonkwo is speaking. It is not going to sound well, and it will not appear good when what will happen happens. But all my prayer has been that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu should be unconditionally released without further delay. because he has suffered more than enough just because he's an Igbo man. Look at it very well. Where is Sunday Igboho, who was a freedom fighter as well? Tinubu accepted him, Tinubu pardoned him, Tinubu absorbed him into the society, and Tinubu sent him to be one of the local vigilantes that fights Fulani terrorists in Kwara State. What do you have to say to it? When you look at Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case, you will discover pure hatred, because in the Civil War of 1967-70, the whole world fought Biafrans and massacred them in cold blood. Over 5 million Biafrans were killed, both children, adult, pregnant women, and old men, youths, because of starvation, malnutrition, kwashiorkor, and those that they killed with the bullets and bombs, just because we say we have to go. So we have reclaimed our nation back. Biafra nation have been redeclared. So there is nothing anybody can do about it. For your information, Biafra nation has been redeclared. Now Biafra is a nation. What we are looking towards now is a referendum, which will give us our currencies, our banners, and our coat of arms, our ambassadors, our, the necessary things that's supposed to be in Biafra land that will make Biafra a full sovereign nation. So we are not going back. It has been done. It has been done. There's no going back. So I want to say, before I wrap up, if you have not been supporting Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's release, do that.